Today we're going to make our pineapple tart. There are three components in the pineapple tart. The first component would be the pie crust, which we call it the pâté sucré. We have 85 grams of chilled unsalted butter. We cut it into 2 cm cubes. Then we have 125 grams of cake flour, 40 grams of icing sugar, 1 pinch of sea salt, 20 grams of egg yolk, 2 teaspoons of water, and 1 drop of vanilla extract. We will stir the egg yolk, water, vanilla extract together. Next, we will sieve all the dry ingredients together. This is the cake flour and the icing sugar. We will add 1 pinch of salt to this mixture. Next, we will place the butter in the processor. Then we add all the dry ingredients in. We will set the food processor to a medium speed and create fine crumbs. We will check to see whether we have got fine crumbs. Not yet. Okay, one more time. Okay, so we've got a fine crumb, almost like sand. We'll pour it out onto a bowl. We will create a well in the center, add the egg in. And then we will mix it until we have a dough. Yeah. Use like a cutting motion to mix the egg into the dough. If the pastry is too dry, you can add a bit of water, but this looks okay. So when we're done, we'll put this mixture in the fridge and we have to chill it for at least 2 hours. This pastry has rested in the fridge for 2 hours. So now we're going to roll it out so that we can form the pie crust. First, we put 2 cling wrap, one at the bottom and one on top. This will help you in rolling out a perfect pastry and easy to handle. We have these 2 stainless steel sticks, which is actually 3 mm, so that we get exact even thickness in the pastry. So we will roll it this way. To roll the pie crust, we always start in the center, even pressure up and down. No need to press too hard, just even pressure up and down. Then we move the sticks to the other 2 sides so that we get a round pastry. So this tool guide is important so that you get an even thickness in the pastry. Okay, so now they're all 3 mm thick. Okay, next we will take the pie dish. So we are using 8-inch pie dish like this with a removable bottom so that it's easy to lift off later. Yeah. So you remove the top layer of the cling wrap and then you lift. Okay, you can put it in. Okay. So it is important to lift and fill the corner. Okay, so all the corners have to be, you flip it and tuck it in. So there is no empty corners. Then you use the rolling pin to cut. And you remove everything. And you have a perfectly formed crust. Then we have to put it in the fridge to cool it first before we bake it. But before we do that, we will create some holes with a fork. So we will use the fork to create some holes randomly, so that the crust would be crispy. We'll put this in the fridge to chill for maybe about half an hour before we bake it blind. Now we're going to prepare the two parts of the pineapple. We are preparing a pineapple jam and also some pineapple slices as decoration. So we buy ripe pineapple like this. We'll show you how we prepare it. So for this pineapple, it is about 600 to 700 grams. We will reserve 190 grams to make the pineapple jam, and then 350 grams to make the sauteed pineapple for the decorations on top. So when you cut the pineapple, make sure that all the black eyes are removed. We don't want any black eyes in the pineapple. Then after that, you will quarter the pineapple. We remove the core. We don't want the core and all the back parts. So first we weigh 190 grams to make the pineapple jam. So this is quite a lot. Yeah, okay, so that's all we need for the pineapple jam. So the rest of the pineapple, we will just slice them up to make the sauteed pineapple. So after cutting and coring the pineapple, we're going to make the sauteed pineapple. So you take the quartered pineapple and you slice them into 2 cm thickness. Now we're going to make the sauteed pineapple. We have 350 grams of sliced pineapple, 20 grams of butter, French butter, 20 grams of caster sugar. We have 1 teaspoon of rum and 3 drops of vanilla essence. So first we will melt the butter and the sugar first. So once the butter and the sugar is nicely melted, we add the 350 grams of pineapple. Be very careful when you saute. We try not to break the pineapple pieces, so no need to stir too much. Just make sure that they're all coated in the butter and sugar mixture. It takes about 5 minutes for the pineapple to cook. Yeah. Once the pineapple has cooked, you switch off the fire. Then you will add the rum and vanilla. So you can smell it, it's about ready. We'll switch off the fire. We'll add the vanilla. We'll add the rum. We'll stir it and leave it to marinate for a while. Now we're going to make the pineapple jam. So it's 190 grams of pineapple. So this, we basically see how sweet the pineapple is. The sugar you adjust accordingly. So this looks like a pretty ripe pineapple, so we don't need so much sugar, probably just like 10 grams of sugar. We add some clove and a hint of cinnamon for flavor. So we put it in our food processor, we blend it and cook it till it is like a jam. After we've put the pineapple in the food processor and adding the sugar and the spices, we will cook for 30 minutes, and after that we will check to make sure that the recipe and the pineapple jam is dry. If it is not dry, we will cook for another 10 or 15 minutes. So first we preheat the oven to 180 degrees. Then we will take the pie which has been chilled for at least half an hour in the fridge. We take it out. Then we will line it with a paper, a grease-proof paper. And then we weigh it down with baking weights. You can use beans, anything that's heavy, to weigh down the crust when we bake it. We bake it for 15 minutes. Now we remove the weights from the crust and we bake it one more time. Same temperature, 10 minutes. So after about 8 to 10 minutes, when the crust is ready, you take it out and then you put a very thin layer of egg to seal the crust. This step is important because you want to have a crispy crust when you bake it so that the pastry cream doesn't soak through the crust. Egg white is a lamination. You put something, egg white, you put water, and the cannot go through. Put it back in the oven very quickly, about a few seconds to dry it. So we leave it for a while to cool the crust. Okay, we will sieve 60 grams of icing sugar, 60 grams of ground almonds, and 10 grams of cake flour. We put 60 grams of the softened butter and we cream it. We add, this is 60 grams of egg. We add it in 2 parts. So part 1. We add a pinch of salt. 5 grams of rum, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and put all the flour mixture in. Okay, so after the crust is baked and cooled down already, it's time to basically set up the whole pie. First, you put the almond cream into the crust. So you use your spatula to even it out over the whole pie. After it's evenly spread out, you can put the jam, the pineapple jam, evenly across the whole top. Just pinch out little pieces and spread them out. The recipe is very versatile. We can use any fruits. We can replace the pineapple with strawberry. So instead of the pineapple jam, then you will use the strawberry jam. You can even make like pear, peaches. After you have done with that, we will basically do the decoration with the pineapple slices. So pick the bigger slices of pineapple and place it on the outside. So what we want to do is that we pick the pieces and we overlap at least 1/3. So as you can see, after we have sauteed the pineapple, we put it in a sieve or coriander like this to drain off the liquids. If it is still wet, then you tap it dry with tissue paper. So basically, to cover the top, we want to make this whole thing look like a rose. So we take the smaller pieces and we just finish it off. So after we have dressed this pie, we set the temperature to 180 degrees. We put it in for 40 minutes.